the next game we're going to talk about is World Monuments. Now, this is a Queen's game, and I'm going to try to explain this as well as possible, but some of it eludes me a little bit. I don't think this game's out on the market yet, so whatever. But basically, it is a game where you have a board in the middle that you're trying to build up, one of the world monuments or whatever, like the Taj Mahal, things like that. And it shows you the layers that you need to build. And those layers are different cubes, essentially. They're wavy, so they stack on top of each other. And then, but each layer, you have to put down that color cube. So if it's like a green layer, you have to put down a green. I don't remember the colors, but like blue and yellow. And so it's a bunch of, what do? You wait for other people to put there and then put yours on there. You kind of have to, like, you're building a ladder together, but you want to be on the top rung, essentially. Before you do all that, there's a small little, I guess it's an excavation thing. Is that right? It's like a big circle and it has all these different spaces. And you've got like I don't know I thought it was like excavation where you're excavating like different resources.
Yeah, we didn't go through the story, but yeah, you go through it. You have a certain amount of movement points and you can hop around and pick up different color wooden stackable monument pieces.
Yeah.
And depending on the color and how far up on that monument is, the further up, the more points you would get.
Yeah. And so when you move on that space, everybody's taking turns moving this one guy on that space, like 1, 2, 3, and then everybody starts, or I don't remember how many times, but essentially you end up moving it 4 times and then you collect everything that you move on, but you can't end on the same space or can't go back through the same space.
You have to go back out to the outer space. You can't.
Oh yeah, you can go in and then you can end on the outside. Yeah. And so for the most part, you're either getting one of the 3 colors or whatever. You're getting blue ones, which are worth points at the end of the game, or you're getting the start player one that's hidden in there somewhere. It's all randomized through a bag. You kind of pull them out of a bag and place them on there and stuff. So, Eric, let's start with you. What'd you think of this?
I liked it. It is pretty simple, so there's not too much to it, but it was fun overall. And I did like that the game came with quite a few monuments that you can build out. And it's almost a semi-co-op kind of feel because you're all working together to, not really working together, but you're all in it to build this monument. You just want the most points out of this monument. So
yeah, the one thing I didn't like so much, which the whole mechanism I was just explaining with moving the pieces around to get your pieces and stuff, I felt like that was kind of lackluster. Like you do it like 3 times throughout each game or whatever.
Right.
And each phase, I guess, if you would call it that, they tell you what pieces to put in that bag and you shuffle them up and you place them out on the board. And I feel like it could be a little bit deeper of a strategy. It's almost like I don't know. I feel like maybe if you played it a bunch more, you would see this, but I felt like there was almost optimal moves. Like, oh, I'm going to grab these 3 right here because obviously that's one of the only 2 choices. Like, I don't know. Like, what did you think?
That was actually my problem with the game. If I had one, I mean, the game is fun. I don't want to sound like I didn't like it. But I think that sometimes the turn order really kind of, I don't know. Sometimes you wouldn't have an opportunity at all to get any of the higher scoring pieces. Now, in turn, though, you have to make sure you get lower scoring pieces also because you can't put the higher ones if you ain't got any lower ones there first. So you had to draft in a weird kind of...
Oh, that's true. I did forget that if you didn't have a piece you can lay, you had to pass and you're out completely, right?
Yes.
Right. And then you lost points for any pieces that
left over.
Couldn't put down.
Yeah. Well, I guess that makes sense then because you're trying to... Maybe some of the strategy, which I didn't see at first until just now, is that you can move around and steal pieces that you know... If you can really card count, quote unquote, cards... If you could block count what other players have and what they've played, you can be like, I know he doesn't have any green or yellow or whatever.
Right.
And then you can take the pieces he might need to stay in that round, and then you and somebody else are the only ones scoring points or whatever. So, I don't know, maybe that's kind of... we did play like one of the, I wouldn't say weaker, but like starting
Yeah, I think
monuments.
it was the starting one or the recommended.
Yeah, so, but it wasn't that long. I don't feel like it was long enough to where I was like, oh, these problems are way bigger than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so no, I mean, I kind of look forward to it. I don't necessarily know if it's a game I'm going to purchase, but I wouldn't mind playing it again.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, it was just good, but not great.
Yeah, that's a good way. It's middle of the round. Maybe there's some stuff in there that we didn't get to play with, like some variants or some extra rules. Maybe we played like a starter kind of thing. But if not, and that's all it is, and it's just different monuments, then it's all right. It's not bad.
All right. It was cool. It wasn't out yet, and we got to play it.